All right, so now we're live. We're live, filming coming at you from 42nd Street, Manhattan. Dan and Ted, and
We're
then
live right now.
yeah, and then look, you go live here, and now we're live on Instagram too. Isn't that crazy?
That's sick.
And then it's live on Facebook, my Facebook, I Fire My Boss podcast, Facebook, my LinkedIn, the YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram.
That's great.
And it records it all too. So now, dude, what we could do is we could go live, going live. Like we could go live recording.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Dan, CEO of Voda Cleaning and Restoration. I help people start and scale their own home services franchise business. And, what we're going to be talking about today for a little bit is how to really create lead nurturing around your brand, right? If you're in the home services space or any business, you have to understand that, think about the things that we used to do to generate business, right? Well, not used to do, things you do. Like you go out networking, you go to the BNI, you sponsor the baseball game, you network at your local chapters, pay for, sporting events, you go out there. Well, in the internet age, right, that we're in, the more that we're all so available to social media. We spend so much of our attention, hours and hours a day of our attention goes towards social media. Why wouldn't you treat social media the same as you would treat building a business elsewhere, where you're building it online, right? When you want to build a personal connection with your prospective customers in your business, you do that by going to the baseball games and doing things and having coffee, meetups and lunch, etc. Right? There's a great book called Never Eat Alone. Well, my new mindset on this is, why wouldn't you do the same thing with social media? You can advertise your business to prospective customers while just doing the things you would naturally be doing, documenting the journey. And that's a great way to nurture leads and to generate leads. And so we're going to, be just kind of be documenting what we're doing here today for a little bit. And, people can learn from it, maybe, take some of these ideas. Not the most exciting video. It's just going to literally be streaming what we're doing. But, we're going to treat this like the Truman Show and just kind of have the camera on.
The Truman Show.
All right, let's do it. And then look, you just straight up turn it this way. Looks a little messy over there, but that's all right.
Yeah, you can actually set up the chair.
Get a better angle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Still on the couch.
Really? All right. Let's do it.
Content.
Isn't that crazy though? So that's live streaming the whole thing, and then you can see who's watching. All right, let's do it. Let's just knock it out.
We're gonna do some shorts or
Right now,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Ready?
Yep. Dan Claps here, CEO of Voda Cleaning and Restoration. I want to make a special announcement. Today is a big milestone that we're advertising. We are proud to announce that we've just crossed 100 territories awarded nationwide. It's an incredible feat for us to get to this point. Only 3% of franchisors ever get to 100 territories awarded, and only 3%, it takes 10 years to get there. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's helped make this possible. The leadership team at Voda, as well as the rest of our team. People don't realize we have over 13 people at corporate supporting Voda. I want to give a shout out to our franchise owners that are doing an incredible job out there in the field, building their business and helping make the Voda vision come to life. We were able to award 42 different owners franchise opportunity this year on under a year, which is an incredible accomplishment. We're so excited for where we're going as we journey toward 100 fantastic franchise owners around the country. in over 250 territories. What I'm proudest of most is that we've been so selective, bringing in the right franchise owners that match our core values and our culture. And that we've also been extremely diligent about only awarding a certain amount of territory to each franchise owner to help ensure that most of their dollars are going toward their actual business, scaling their business, hiring teammates, hiring and spending money on marketing. We have our amazing things to talk about. I'd like to give a shout out to our Flood It program, which we launched recently, which is our version of flooring it, right? When you want to go fast in a car, you floor it. When you want to go fast at Voda, you flood it. You flood yourself with leads. We developed this program where we're actually doing a tremendous amount through ourselves and also through vendor partners that we've established relationships with to create more and more leads for our franchise owners. They, of course, invest into the program, toward the leads. But we're making the phone ring more and more through our SEO efforts, our pay-per-click efforts, all of our Facebook, Instagram ads, our Google ads, our local service ads. Christian, our CMO, Christian Betancourt's done an amazing job leading the Flood It program and our overall marketing at Voda. Another thing that I'd like to shout out is an incredible accomplishment that we've made. We've rolled out a program called Know-How, which is a AI technology that's allowing our franchise owners to essentially utilize AI to ask questions. That is just rolled out in a beta test across the system. We're super excited about that as well. As we continue to journey forward, the vision for Voda stays the same. We want to elevate the standards of cleaning and restoration. We want to provide a new level of clean and a new level of franchise for our franchise owner. Remember, my mindset around what we're doing is our customer is the franchise owner. And what we believe is this beautiful idea that if we compete with the competition, the bar's here. We can easily get above that bar. But if we compete with the idea of the customer never being satisfied, that they're divinely dissatisfied, that bar will never stop raising, nor will our level of service. Our vision at Franchise Playbook, which owns Voda, is to be the largest privately held home services platform. And I'm so proud that our first brand is allowing us to move toward that direction. We're on a mission to empower entrepreneurs to think bigger, and we'll continue to do that from this day on forward. Thanks again for your support in Voda. We're so excited about these 100 units and the next 100 or 200 coming. I love it.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
One take.
Natural.
So let's see if we have anyone still here. Wow, we have a lot of people, dude. Wow. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's like more than I thought. Then look, that's the people on Instagram, and then you got the people
My
on.
dad.
Oh, nice. He's your number one fan.
Yeah.
Let me just so what we just did here was we essentially are documenting, us documenting. And what's crazy is as you create more and more, as you create more and more raving fans, people will want to tune in. Like one of the things I think so cool about documenting your journey. Hang on one second. One of the things that I think so crazy about documenting your own journey is like, can you imagine if you had the opportunity to see what like your grandparents did to do what they got, how they got to there? Or if you could go back and watch your parents, how they were doing things. Can you imagine the power of being able to see Warren Buffett when he was in his 30s and what he was doing? I'm not saying my journey is going to be Warren Buffett's journey, but like that's pretty cool. That's pretty powerful. And what I'm trying to do is basically, shamelessly share my journey. And what I learned about social media is everybody shares all the highlights. Everybody shares all the benefits and the things that are exciting. And I've decided I'm not going to share that. Like, I'm not going to just share this perfect life. Right now I'm just living here. I'm working. I'm not going to try to make it better than it is, seem more. We just want to do it the way that we're doing it. And we're going to document the journey. Sometimes it's going to be, a great time. Sometimes it's going to be the struggles. But today's a great day because today we're celebrating those 100 territories at Voda, which is pretty exciting. And, that's what's going on here. So couple tips, and then we'll come back with some more lives. So first thing I'll share, if you want to build a personal brand in your home services company, the way that you're going to do it is you need to be genuine. You need to be authentic. Don't be so afraid of getting in front of the camera. It's crazy. The more that I do this content, the more that I don't care about the camera in my face. I was on Tommy Mello's podcast recently, which if you're interested in home services and you like digesting content about home services, let me put it in the chat here. if you want to check it out. But I was on his podcast recently and I learned two things from him, which was the number one thing. This is someone that sold his business for over $220 million, only sold half of it, right? So he literally sold half his business, and continued to grow it. And what I thought was so interesting about what he was doing was the fact that two things. One, the whole time we were together, I got to go to his office and do a shop tour, and I got the chance to just really learn from him. We spent all day together, and then we did a podcast at the end of the day, and this was on a Friday. And there's two things I noticed. Number one, there was a camera person following around all day long. And at first I thought, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of weird. Like, what is that? And then I learned that, what he was doing was every time he was talking to someone and there was a good piece of content, he didn't have to think about content. Like, what's crazy is people think like, I started putting out this content. I'm not a full-time content creator. I run Voda Cleaning and Restoration, every single minute of the working day is what I'm doing. Once in a while, I spend probably 4 hours or so a week on content. But what we started to realize is we could just document the stuff that we're doing anyway. So that was something I learned from Tommy that he put out. He just started documenting his journey. And then the second thing I learned was we spent all day together. He's running this massive company, and who's on their phone more? Me. I got calls and texts and emails I got to check. And I couldn't believe that he was not doing that. And what he said to me was, I have an executive assistant. And the second I followed those two things that he was doing, my business immediately changed. Like, what was so crazy was he told me I don't even have an email login. Like, this guy's running this massive company, doesn't even check email. He has an assistant that he works with to keep that off of his plate so he can focus on the highest value activities constantly, which is what we're doing here. My job as a leader in Voda is to communicate the message as much as possible, the vision, the strategy, the mission, where we're going, how we're going to get there. And so we're doing that today through these video series that we're putting out in our communication channels, in internal newsletters that we're putting out to our franchise base, etc. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll be putting out more content like this. Highly recommend if you want to build your home service brand, make a personal brand. Don't be afraid to get behind the camera and just start with like one picture. And then eventually you get less and less nervous about doing it. Thanks again.